tell us a little bit, Thomas, about how you got into skateboarding, and then also when you first heard about Southbank, what made you come to Southbank?
The way I got into skateboarding was I saw it on TV, people skateboarding on a half pipe in some competition, and then I asked my dad to get me a skateboard. He sent me one from America at that time because he was working there. Yeah, I started kneeboarding for a while. Then I was like 7 years old, just kneeboarding around in my area, just playing computer games, getting hyped. And then, yeah, that I stopped for a bit and then started again when I was about 13. And then it's been skateboarding ever since. So the way I got to Southbank and to London, yeah, so I got to London when I was 18 and started working here, and like a week later after landing in London, I just came across Southbank with my friend Chili, and yeah, just been here, coming here ever since, you know.
Did you hear about Southbank before you came to London?
Yeah, I've heard about it before. I've played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or whatever. To play that, and I saw that there was Southbank here on the video game. Actually, that was, I think, the first time I've heard about it or seen it. You know, virtually skateboarded here. You know.
So tell us about how you felt when you first came here for real. You saw it for the first time in the vibe.
Yeah, I felt the first time I came here, I felt like I was in that video game, you know. Actually, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, you know. Just, oh, this bit was there, you know, and there was a whole London type, how would you call it, course or whatever, you know. So yeah.
And what about the people when you first came and you first met people?
Good. People were, the first time I came here, people were really, really honest, actually. They were just really polite and told me everything, told me where I need to get, where's this closest skate shop, where I can get some food, where's the shop, you know. People were offering, you know, me to get, they were going to the shop and they were going to get something if I needed anything, you know, which was, to me, I wasn't used to that at all, you know. First time in London, you know, and everybody's polite, and, you know, it was interesting.
And was there a different vibe here to say other places, other skate parks that you've been to? Was there something special?
This was the first place that I actually skated, like actual place. Like I didn't go to any skate park before, or I didn't skate at too many skate parks. I always skateboarded on streets, and, you know, maybe a half pipe, you know, every once in a while in my local skate park in Lithuania. That's about it. So.
And then what happened then when you first heard about the fact that this place was going to be correct? Tell us how you felt about that.
When I've heard about it, that this place is getting shut down, then I didn't know what to do, because before I'm just, you know, skateboarding, and that's all I'm doing, you know. What can we do? That's what was in my head. So everybody started talking, and we had a meeting, and yeah, we decided to stop it from closing down. So that happened.
And then with the jam, the first thing that you try to get a message out to the public, what did you tell us about what you hope that would achieve by doing the jam?
With the jam, what we wanted to show was that we're capable of getting people together, and we have a big group of people, and it's not only skateboarders, it's BMXers and rollerbladers as well, and it's not just people that, you know, love extreme sports. It's artists, graffiti artists, and dancers, and rappers, and whatever, you know, everybody, reggae, music, you know, everything was in one here, you know, coming from all different places, you know, like different atoms in the universe coming all together in one massive, you know, we've got power. That's what we wanted to show. So, you know, if you mess with us, then, you know.
And do you feel like the jam got resonated with the public? I think the public kind of understood that this space was important.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you cannot, you know, when there's good energy, when there's good vibes, and then when there's good mood, you cannot say anything. You know, if you try to say something negative, people around you are gonna be like, you know, something's not right with this guy. You know, so it's like you can't fake that. You know, when there's unity in the community, you know, that's what the word is coming from, I think. So community, you know.
Do you feel like there was a difference in getting the message across to the public as visitors than it was to get to the South Bank Centre? It takes like a comparison of like getting your message to the public and the support and trying to communicate your message to the South Bank Centre.
Are you asking if that came?
Was there a difference? Do you think it was easy to sell the story to South Bank Centre or versus the public?
Yeah, it was definitely easier to give it. It was definitely easier to communicate with the public because they were coming at the table. They were coming to South Bank and they were asking, you know, what's going on. If somebody's asking, you can answer. But if nobody's asking, nobody's coming down here because they're scared of you, because they have an assumption in their head about who you are and they already set their minds, then, you know, then there's no communication going on. And you can't, you know, but when there's people that are interested and they're communicating with you, then you can change minds and, you know, you can not even change minds, but just show them, you know, this is what we're doing here. This is, you know, if you don't like it, that's fine, but, you know, we're not bad people. We're just, this is what we do, and we shouldn't be looked at or, you know, portrayed as, you know, criminals. So.
It was difficult to communicate that in the South Bank Centre. Do you think South Bank Centre understood the culture they had underneath it as an asset?
Well, after two years, they understood, you know, where it could have been communication from the very beginning, you know, and they, instead of being stubborn and, you know, like, you know, of course it's money, you know, money is the root of all evil, you know, like they say, but I mean, money rules for now, so you know, they had to overcome themselves and, you know, get through, you know, but at the end, you know, they listened, and I mean, I think it was harder to communicate with them, definitely.
Do you think that they feel that there's a difference between how they see this space and the ones that they can manage, like the formal arts upstairs? Do you think they see it differently?
This space too.
Do you think they see this space and what happens here, like informally and organically, they see it differently to, like, you know, poetry or orchestras in the...
Oh, I guess they do. South Bank Centre does see it differently because, you know, to have free space these days is it's very difficult, and, you know, when there's just skateboarding going on here, you know, in the summer there's a lot of skateboarding, in the winter there's not that much, you know, so they see it as, oh, maybe it's not used, and, you know, we could just put a little coffee shop in here that would be making us some peas, you know, along the winter time, you know, but it's like, it's not about that. It's about saving what's been here for 40 years, you know. It's all these walls have layers of paint, and it's constantly growing. It's not like it's, you know, stopped and this is going to be put in a museum. What they wanted to do, make a room for it. It's like, no, this is like a reflection of everything that's going on in London now, and kind of like all the misfits and the ones that don't fit anywhere else, they come down here. So this is like the filter for you know, for all that creativity, you know, to come out, and this comes out everywhere, on the walls, on the slabs in the ground, you know, on the cracks and everything. So I see it as it's beautiful, and I mean, the same poetry goes down here as well. You know, people come down here in the evening, you know, they bring their beatbox, and, you know, people start freestyling, and, you know, it's just, if you're here, if you're not afraid to be here, you will see what it's all about, and it's really, it has a good vibe.
What about, like, how important is the history? How, like, when someone comes here for the first time, how do they learn about 40 years of history?
What's the history about?
But how important is the history? How do you find out about the 40 years beforehand? How did
Just
it get
just being here by, you know, you'd be sitting down and, you know, somebody, one of the old heads would come down here and then, you know, you'd be like, who is this guy? And then somebody else would be like, shut up, like this is, you know, Femi, or like this is so and so. He's been here like for 40 years, literally, you know. So it's like he's, you know, there's like rumors going on and who did what tricks were landed in what years, and things that were filmed and things that weren't filmed, and most of the best things are just not caught on camera at all, you know. So, and that's true, you know. That's what happens here. It's like all the best things, you have to be here, and you know, same in life. You can't always capture it, you know, on the camera. Like, yeah, we're doing interviews, but they are here for people to see what's going on. You know, they're not here for us to be like constantly just watching, you know, oh, this was so nice such a long time ago. But things that are happening here now, like right now, we're standing here at South Bank, they're going to be happening if we do what we do, you know. So I think that's what's very important, is to be in the now instead of, you know, and that history, well, history is yesterday, you know. So even what happened yesterday, people are already talking about it, you know. So it's important. It's definitely important, and it's really interesting to hear all the stories, and it just makes me so inspired and happy, you know, that this is still here, and I can still skate and do my little, you know, throw my little coin in here.
Tell us a little bit about the campaign. So obviously you're really passionate about it, how important it was to be part of the campaign. So talk about how important it was, but also how difficult, some of the difficult bits as well.
Well, it was difficult. It was difficult because the campaign was a bit difficult because I had to just stop doing whatever I was doing. Not stop, but kind of, you know, skateboarding took like a second, you know, role. It was like, okay, we have to save this, you know, and it was just ego, you know, like you wanna do the things you want to do, you cannot do anymore because there's more important things to do, you know. So, but that taught me a lot, and now I'm learning more and adapting what I've learned to my life, you know, and I'm sorting things out that I was supposed to sort out a long time ago, like, you know, things like relationships with my family and things like that, you know, which I've got in touch. I've got a feeling of it here when we had such a big, you know, community here of people coming together. And I was like, but why am I, you know, there's my parents as well that I forgot about, you know, and my brother and my grandparents, you know. It's like, so that I learned a lot. Through this campaign I learned a lot. And of course the fun times was just, you know, parties here and, you know, but that was like a release, you know, of all that tension. It has to go. You have to let go, and then if you don't, then it just builds up and you have to let go. But now I'm like, cool, you know. I know we had like our biggest parties were down here, you know, and late nights at South Bank after doing the table for 8 hours every day, you know, just chilling out.
If you once it's been saved and you knew that definitely a deal had been signed and it's going to be here, how do you feel about that?
A bit overwhelmed. I felt when it got signed, I was like, you know, that we saved it. It was like, oh, overwhelming, you know, because I didn't know whether I was happy or I was, you know, sad that it's finished, you know, or just what are we doing next, you know, what's going to happen next. And, you know, it's very interesting how things turn around. It's like one thing I can think about is like the journey is what matters. It's not the goal, you know. So, and same with South Bank is a perfect example of that. It's like you can put a room full of, you know, history about South Bank, but it's not about that because that's finished. That's it. That's a picture on the wall. But the ongoing process is what matters. The evolution of it, you know. So,
and you can see the history in space. In the stones itself, there is, you know, marks of tricks that people have done that nobody even remembers anymore, but that somebody might have saw that never left them. And that's the kind of place it is.
For example, like the whole campaign that we've done, it's basically showing if you really want to do something, nobody can tell you what to do. Neither nor government nor the laws, you know. you can just, if you really want to do something, because minds are changing. Mind is constantly changing of everybody around you. And if you change your mind, soon you will notice that people's mind around you, at least around you, are changing. That's what we saw. We just kept repeating same thing what we did every single day. Repetition is the, you know, mother of whatever, patience, learning. So we kept doing the same thing, and after 2 years, you know, this is what happened. You know, there was like, everybody knows now. You know, anywhere I go, I meet people that, you know, they're like, oh, I heard about your campaign. You know, so you were a part of this, and I'm like, so that's what, maybe that's what can be communicated, that just, you know, don't overcome the conditioning in our minds that is there and we're not even aware of it. Look for things that you don't know that you don't know, you know?
I think I was going to say, maybe if you could sum up South Bank in like 2 words, like or what it means to you in 2 words. It'd be nice to have like tiny little nugget sound bites.
We used to call it mother's womb. Mother's womb, because you felt so comfortable here, you know? That's why I came up with that like a long time ago, but it's, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, because we used to come down here, you know, it's like the easy way out, you know, South Bank. You go there and you just, or Vortex, you know, you just spend your whole summer here and you're like, oh yeah, I should have gone skating street more, and you're like, but it's about the base, you know. It's like, this is your base. From here you can go anywhere and come back, but you know, respect that space and respect the home that you're, you know, living at.
So if you could just say, if you could sum up South Bank in 2, you know, if I could sum up South Bank in 2 words,
if I could sum up South Bank in 2 words, it would be mother's womb.
If you could just say your full name and your occupation, so we can credit you.
My full name is Domas Glatkauskas, and occupation, so I'm working with autistic people now. And I'm a skateboarding teacher, I'm a skateboarder, an artist. I've started learning drums, so I do quite a lot. And I'm studying the knowledge book as well. That's